This is an introduction into how to complete the DMUsport club risk assessment. So you will need to complete a risk assessment for your club activity whenever planning something outside of your usual club training and competitions. For example, as part of the DMU Sport events and trips form process. A risk assessment is a simple and effective tool that clubs can use to ensure that all activities, equipment, and facilities are as safe as possible. Having a risk assessment in place is a way of controlling the risk of accidents or injuries to everyone involved in your activities, from participants to volunteers to visitors. The risk assessment process can be used to record, identify, and assess risks in order to develop safe practices or flag further actions needed to help control and manage those risks. As a basic starting point, a DMU Sport Club Risk Assessment template can be found on the Sport Club Hub Blackboard module. Clicking onto the health and safety within your club and opening the Club Risk Assessment template right here. The table at the top of this document is for some very basic information about the activity that you have planned. And then there is a table here that helps with the completion of the form. The severity, ranging from insignificant to very high, is the potential level of harm caused by the hazard. The likelihood, ranging from rare to certain, is the probability of a hazard causing harm. And when those two are then combined within this grid, that gives us the risk for any given hazard, ranging from low to very high. Obviously, the aim is for every hazard to be mitigated to a low risk, but in the real world of sport, that just isn't always possible, and is why we pull a risk assessment form together to outline those control measures that can be implemented. Staring at a blank table can be daunting, and so a fantastic first port of call is to search online for templates and best practice examples that are specifically related to your sport and or the activity. Also, go through every step of the activity in your mind and put in each of rows different elements that may cause hazards. For example, first step, transport, how to get to and from the event and potential hazards caused from that. Changing areas. Once you arrive, is there a safe and secure place to get changed in time for the event? First aid management. If an incident does occur during the activity, is there the necessary cover in place? And weather conditions. If the activity is outside, what risks could this cause? Once these areas are identified, it's then a case of going through each and assessing who is at risk and calculating the risk level if no controls were implemented. From here, we then input what shall be carried out. For example, transport will be organised through a DMU approved supplier, or a qualified first aider with a first aid kit shall be present with the group at all times. Once we've identified all of these measures, we then input them and work out what the new risk levels are. Realistically, the likelihood may not reduce, but the severity more than likely shall for the majority of the hazards you identify. Then, make sure that there is someone within the club made accountable for ensuring this control measure is implemented. And once this is being completed for every hazard during the activity, you're all sorted. If at any time you have any questions at all, please get in touch with the staff at DMU Sport and we'll be happy to support. Thanks.